The insignificance of man cannot be overstated 20. As Mach 2 approaches, remember one thing. We told you so.
In 2003, 17 years ago, the network warned us that this would happen, and we did not listen. We did not pay attention to their ancient prophecies of plague and stupidity, and now we are paying the price. This is my review of the network. Money Money 2020 Mach 2 Part 2. Whatever. We told you so! Usually with a band of this stature and this worth and this value, I have usually, before the album came out, tracked down a leak from a friend of mine over on the Network Authority. However, this year, with a small human being running around and working a lot, I have not had the time to get a pre-release leak. So I apologize for not being leaky this time. And that also actually turned into something really beautiful because I was able to listen to the album like I used to. When you would get an album on a Tuesday or a Friday now, and you would read the lyrics as you were experiencing it for the first time in its entirety. I'd only heard, Ivanka and just the first few songs that they had released. I didn't hear all the leaks until a few days after everybody else on the Network Authority had already listened to everything. I didn't know what all the jokes were about. Who am I? So I was really glad that I got to experience it a little differently. And it was mostly not because I was busy, but because they announced the album shortly before it was released instead of announcing it, a year into the past or whatever. And I think that has something to do with Van Gogh's time travel capabilities. Let's just stop overdosing on music before it's released. Just saying. Let's jump into the review. There is a lot of material here. Okay, 25 songs. We're going around the world in some kind of futuristic craft with the network. Maybe in outer space. Maybe in the time vortex of Doctor Who. I was scared that there was going to be a lot of tracks wasted on transition pieces, like transition strips and instrumentals, and there's another word for that I can't quite put my finger on. But there's only one that's sort of a wasted instrumental, but it's called Pizzagate, so it gets a pass, because pizza is the greatest food on the planet. Pizzagate! Now, I do want to know what the pizza was lying about. Who recorded the pizza? Anyway, I'm on pizza's side, don't care what he or she did, or they did. The network have fulfilled a very specific niche in music for me, in which I've always wanted Mike Dirnt to front Green Day. And I've always wanted him to maybe, even go solo, make a solo career where he's standing tall at the microphone on the stage with his weird leg movements. Now in 2020, we have learned that the network are in fact not Green Day, but in fact the network. Van Gogh is a time-traveling, drug-addicted vagabond that's been poisoned by cyanide and has congestive heart disease and a gambling addiction. So we can all relate to the noseless freak of nature that is the time-traveling Van Gogh. But with this band, Mike, in Green Day, Mike Dirnt hides behind the shadow of what's-his-face, Billy Joe. And Van Gogh takes the reins of this six-piece network and makes a name for himself as the greatest no-nose singer of all time. I got your nose. I got it! As I entered the seedy, space-filled void of this album, I found myself looking around for Mr. Van Gogh. Where did he go? Where is he? They're all out without you, having fun. Where'd you go? Go, 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 go. Jeez. I was looking for Van Gogh because as I neared the halfway point of the album, it seemed as if every track was being fronted by FINK, Mongo FINK, or the Snoo. And while that was entertaining, and while I'm glad that they've been given a little bit more power in this band by the all-powerful Van Gogh, I wanted Van Gogh. Where did all these new Snoo and FINK songs come from? It definitely appears as if FINK has been tampering in the Green Day studios once again. It appears as if he has stolen, like he did with Cigarettes and Valentines, that he has stolen significant portions of tracks that Green Day made for Father of All, possibly even from the trilogy and 21st Century Breakdown. And this could be due to Van Gogh's time-traveling technology, which the FINK is no doubt using for his own nefarious benefit. I believe that FINK wants to make a magnum opus of the inglorious kind, in which it's just an album made of scraps and leftovers of Green Day music. And that's sort of where FINK fits into this record. Now, you know, the Snoo, it's almost entirely joke songs. Even the couple that are maybe a little bit more serious, like Asphyxia and Respirator, they even though they delve into serious topics, it seems a little bit snide, a little bit snooish. Magnum opus that FINK is dead set on making, Mask, is wrapped within the belly of this masterpiece that Van Gogh has planned for this year of Money Money 2020. It's been 17 years since the first album and this album, and it does seem that despite the some of the sneaky tactics that the FINK has encompassed in his works this year, it does seem that all the members of the network, or at least half of them, are bursting at the seams with song ideas, and it's really great. It's a good problem to have! The Prophecy is an excellent kickoff to the album. It's an intro of sorts, but it does go the song route pretty quickly, and it's not a throwaway track like so many of those stupid intros that other rock bands do. What'd you do? I apologize. Van Gogh is sounding very creepy here, and I love it. It's a perfect blend of comedy and tragedy. Where'd you go? Go. Where'd you go? After this fun and creepy intro, we're getting into the real meat of the record, which is stretched across a really strong skeleton that goes on for 25 tracks. Vocals bounce from FINK, Van Gogh, Snoo, and actually I've got some notes here that will tell me exactly the breakdown of that. I am correct and Wikipedia is wrong. You got Van, FINK, Van, Snoo, FINK, Van, Snoo, FINK, Snoo, Van, FINK, Snoo, FINK, Van, FINK. Some of those are questionable, but my count, there's going to be 357 days between this and American Idiot 2. I can feel it in my bones, my lazy bones. But Van Gogh had 8 lead vocals, FINK had 10, and the Snoo had 6. Dairy Queen, I can't see. Oh, goodness gracious, I'm going hypnotized. Okay. 3 songs in, we're at Trans Am, which we had heard earlier. That was one of the first ones released on the EP. And I'm already getting a sense with this song that this is a Renaissance record. This album hasn't even been out for 24 hours yet as of me writing this. And I'm hearing comparisons to Pink Floyd, David Bowie, and other greats like Living by Words and Chris Norwood or Von Hypnotize. And that is the type of music that we're getting here. This is the epicness of this record. It's being compared to everyone except Green Day. Asphyxia. There's a lot of really hard to pronounce medical terms in here, and it's interesting because it's a more serious track by Snoo, which I'm always about. It's something I've always wanted to hear more of, and of course, serious for the Snoo involves screaming in and out and in and out and in and out and shooting lasers pew, 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 from his fingertips and other body parts. It's got lyrics stolen, or at least a lyrical little thingy. Baby from 21st Century Breakdown. I probably got it from Snoo. And it's definitely one of the best Snoo songs on the record. So let's hear it for that Snoo solo album. As I have talked about earlier in this review, it sounds as if Mongo FINK is trying to cram an entire Green Day record into this thing. It's like he's got like Father of All Volume 2 and Father of All Demos, and he's just cramming it inside of Van Gogh's masterpiece. Oh! But this band adds such a unique flavor to what FINK has brought stolen from the Green Day catalog. And it's a tried and true formula that I really don't mind a little bit of Green Day in my network, if you do not know what I'm saying. Fentanyl, which I am sure I'm pronouncing wrong on purpose, is the chill FINK tune, with the next over showing Mr. FINK going goo-goo for the Ramones instead of Green Day, because there's such a big difference there. I do like how this song sounds dirty, even though there's no curse words within it. I believe play Ivanka for your toddlers. That thought, I was actually thinking about how there's not a lot of foul language on this album overall. I believe there's one GD, and it's not Green Day. So you can play Ivanka for your toddlers. Anyway, I did that actually. Digital Black is a Van Gogh fronted song that I'm actually not too crazy about. It's okay, but it just seems a little bit standard. It seems like a little bit of a standard thing, but it does build on the theme of this record, which is forming here in a dark cloud of no answers, no solutions, nothing good, no hope, no love, no hate. Everything is horrible. Everything's gone. No one talks to each other anymore. No one can breathe. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. Some excellent Western guitars here on this one as well, and it makes it a very, very nice track, even though it's not one of my favorites. Still very good. Something to believe in. The band knows how to balance things out on this record, because after that absolute bleak darkness of Digital Black, they're jokingly poking fun at round earthers. And if you are a round earther, you are absolutely insane. You still need to subscribe to my channel, but you're insane. A more basic song structure, but a hooky chorus that will have you believing whatever it wants you to in no time. I feel a rotation. Degenerate is another FINK heavy track that features him giving his go at falsettos. And it made me think that another record had started playing. It's very, very different, and it's very, very fresh, weird, and wild. Pizzagate is a warbly instrumental that is possibly a Z solo piece, not Zorro bleepers. Popper punk. Pizza is the best food behind Chinese. So let that sink in. This is the second best song in all of time and space. Just kidding it. It gets a pass. It gets a pass. Passing gas. Drummer Snoo is on the microphone again on Respirator and Squatter. And talking about too soon. This is too much too soon. I can't tell if he's serious or joking with this Respirator song or ever. And the world situation, I can't say situation. The world situation right now is bad. I need a teleprompter. How much do teleprompters cost? The world situation right now is bad. I feel like I'm both in and out of the joke with this Snoo. You know what I mean? How can you sing if you're on a respirator? Not funny, Snoo. Not a bad song either. Not funny. Squatter is kind of a throwaway track and possibly the weakest on the entire album. It's all right, but the comedy just kind of falls flat for me on Squatter. It falls into Trey Cool's flat. Getting kind of into this middle section of the album that's not as good as the beginning or the end. That's How They Get You. This one is sort of the lesser known track out of all the leaks and out of the album as a whole. It's hard to tell who's singing on this one. I think it's Van Gogh. I'm not entirely sure. It's a dance party rave with a driving beat that is infectious and just may grow on me over time. It's a sonic revelation in the catalog of the network, which may be a shape of things to come on their future album, or their past or their present album, Omega Omega 3030. Tarantula is another song that we had heard a little snippet of early on their YouTube channel, which we were questioning. Was it Viva Death? Was it Green Day? Was it the Foxborough Hot Tubs? Was it Pinhead Gunpowder? We don't know. Everybody has a song about tarantulas. And it's about the existential horror of the symbolic jam about dark, terrible, twisted feelings and how they're like a spider on your feet at the foot of your bed or your claw bathtub. It has Van Gogh's signature bass sound and his powerful voice, and I like it a whole lot. As a cancer survivor, I am obligated to talk about Cancer is the New Black. That's a little bit of a confusing title. I've had cancer. I don't get the title. It's the New Black, but it's been around for a while. This one has FINK and the Snoo trading lead vocals on a very Green Day-esque tune, buried under a bunch of the oh-so-worn-out police sirens. Musicians across the flat disc earth. We do not need police sirens in music ever again. Please, gosh. Please, no more police sirens ever. I have to say this again. No one wants police sirens in their music. Please omit in future network albums. Next 4 songs on the network album are comedy based, and Jerry Falwell's Pool Party straight up plagiarizes some trilogy tunes. So if you're a defender of Uno like I am, you'll like this one. Unless you're me, and then which you won't. This one is, I like this one because I don't like it. This is like, it feels like it's missing some kind of ingredient in the formula of songs. It's got guitar, bass, drums, and guitars and keyboards and vocals. I'm not sure what it's missing, but it's just missing something for me, and it just leaves me feeling like I'm listening to sandpaper. But I enjoy this one because I hate it. The song structure is creative and hard to jive with, and hey, it's growing and growing and growing. Hey Elon is another goofy Snoo throwaway track. It's just It's okay, but the obnoxious humor from the drumming wrestler is really grating at this point. Could maybe have done with 3 or 4 Snoo tracks. I would say 3. I'd say I could do with 3 Snoo tracks instead of 6, and this album would have been a lot better for it. Definitely, Hey Elon is definitely one of the weakest tracks on the album. Not bad, just the humor is just not landing well at all. Go, 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 go! Popper Punk is here. And do you like repetition? 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 Rep, 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 rep. Toddlers, punk rocks, chihuahuas, and Nirvana fans do. Do you have angina? Are you suffering from cyanide poisoning? If so, this song just may be what you need. It's good, and another one that will leave you wondering who exactly is singing this. It's listed as FINK, but who knows? Whoo! This is where the album gets good for me. Van Gogh, where have you been on all the record, man? You're letting FINK and Snoo run wild. For like 2/3 of the record, they're just running a masked muck. Herd Immunity, a Van Gogh fronted song, and that's what the network is all about. Some of the most poetic lyrics sort of call back to Hammer of the Gods, at least sonically and probably lyrically. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Time Capsule is the greatest song on the record. Absolutely, hands down, the greatest piece of music on this album. And like Herd Immunity, it's a sonic callback to Money Money 2020 2003. This Van Goghing it up and down your block, you moron. It really says something when the bright shining star is threat level midnight. Go, go! And there's more. There's so much more, guys. Amnesia Vagabond is another one that turns my head towards my Spotify streaming device to see if I'm listening to the right album. This is Van Gogh's masterpiece, his masterwork. His voice breaks as he laments memory loss, physical deformity, and other forms of heartbreak that only he and I could understand. Our scars, do they make us a man? Also, wait for that ending scream. Spoiler alerts. Who am I? Who am I? The album wraps up with Art of the Deal of the Devil, the clunkiest of the clunky titles, even by Fall Out Boy standards. But this takes sound and lyrical ideas from Green Day's Father Vol ... Mother Something and really turns it up a notch. Z adds nice touches that really make every note scratch your heart like a hand grenade. I mean a vinyl record. Vinyl record people. Vinyl record people. Watch out, sensitive folks. There's a bad word in this one. Here, give me 1 minute. So guys, this album is fun. It's got interesting sounds and concepts. It's over-bloated as all crap. But it's fun. It's really fun. Over-bloated, overstated. I hate to say it, but other than Flat Earth, I really could do without so many of the Snoo songs. They're not funny, like the comedy doesn't land, and musically, they don't really add anything to Van Gogh's vision here. They're rock songs with synths and guitars layered over them, And that's not going to say any of them are bad, but they really do fall flat when compared to Van Gogh's master work on this disc-encased planet and FINK's Stolen Scraps. FINK's Stolen Scraps are great, so I'm not criticizing the Stolen Scraps at all. The last 5 songs of the record are where the real meat of the music lies, rotting and decaying within the confines of Van Gogh's mask. They are laid to rest and given to the public out here on this record. Vinyl records coming soon, maybe late. This album is disconnected and chaotic, but we've all made records like that, right? Throw everything in there and see what fits in and what doesn't, and see what happens. Overall, it's a fun, experimental thing, which, a lot of times fun and experimentation do not go together. They rarely overlap, and however overstuffed and bloated this thing is, it's clearly part of the joke. This could have been a serious rock record with 16 tracks, narrowed down to a little 16-track playlist, maybe like, 36, 40 minutes, but it chose to be this insane kaleidoscope of ridiculousness. What score shall we give the network here in Money 2020? What score shall I give the album? We're going to be ranking it in, what should we rank it? We'll rank it in Van Gogh bandages. We're ranking it in Van Gogh bandages. I have FINK bandages. You don't know, FINK doesn't talk about his facial damage that much, but Van Gogh certainly does. He freaking needs to share it. I am giving Money 2020, we told you so, 4,000 Van Gogh face bandages out of 3,000 Van Gogh face bandages. That's right, folks. Only the network could get 4,000 out of 3,000, but they did. It's Lushertology!